Hey friends, it's your girl Dr. Nina, and I'm wondering, are you finding it easier to pick up bad habits these days just to get by? Or do you know you can make some different choices right now in order to lead to a healthier lifestyle? And don't worry, you're not alone. I've been there too. Today I'm going to share those 7 bad habits I stopped to live a healthier lifestyle, how I fixed those things. From life goals, self-care, and nutrition, these could all lead to a better you. And I also want to hear from you in the comments. What are some of the things you're giving up nowadays in order to live a healthier life? Come on, let's hold each other accountable. And I want to thank Seed for sponsoring today's video. Let's go. I had to stop overspending into debt and not thinking about my next moves. This one at one point did hit me hard, I won't lie. When I first got out of school and I had the means to do things, it was easy for things to start taking over my money flow. People could say that money troubles don't mean a thing, but baby, it causes a lot of things like high blood pressure, depression, insomnia, headaches, digestion troubles, aches and pains, ulcers, excessive smoking and drinking, and gaining and even losing weight. Getting out of debt was a lot like losing weight for me. It takes time, can be hard on your ego, and it's easy to go back to real bad habits. I used to think that being able to save money or keep money had a lot to do with how much you had. But what I learned is that when you're a bad steward, you will squander away anything. If you bad with $5, you're gonna be bad with $500, and so on and so forth. Now, don't be shy. Click like if you used to think the same way. So if you don't learn how to govern the little that you have, you're not gonna do good with a lot. I had to quickly find ways to curb my spending and find the simple joys in life so I could sleep better at night and have better relationships. So where did I start? I first learned about money management. I learned basic rules of personal finance, and I was able to buy my first home on my own at 28 years old, and it was the house that I wanted. I saved for it and I did the things necessary in order to learn about personal finance. You also have to create a budget, and my mother helped me with this. Answer the question, how much money is coming in each month? It could be depressing, but it's important to know. How much is spent on essentials and how much frivolously? I kept track to know what I needed to cut back on, and I paid at least the monthly minimum and usually the maximum on all my bills. First, I would take care of high interest bills and move on to the next worst one. And I automated those good monthly habits. I used my online banking system in order to transfer money automatically into savings, and also I automate any payments that usually stay the same every month. And I've changed my money priorities. I don't shop as just a way to distract myself or to entertain myself. And with this, you just start to identify new things that you can spend your money on that really make sense for you, and I try to do things that are a good investment for the future. I stopped overindulging and overeating and learned to take my health seriously. Before I got serious about my health and turned my life around, I not only was tearing the club up, but I was also tearing up some McDonald's, some Popeyes, and some Wendy's chicken nuggets. This led to a bigger waistline and other health problems like borderline heart disease and diabetes. I know fast food was fast and it tasted good, but it was making me sick. Eating healthy foods and researching supplements takes a lot more time and often money, but it's absolutely worth it. Losing excess weight and ridding yourself of the possibility of a lot of illnesses and saving extra money by preparing meals at home, it's all worth it. So how did I start to make the change? I weaned myself off slowly. Step away from the chicken nuggets. I cut back a little bit per week, and every time I went out to eat, I ate a little less and spent a little less. I switched to the healthier menu options. I replaced soda with water, burgers with grilled chicken and veggies, and fries, I went with salads instead. I ended all the impulse buying of fast food, and even though I still get it every now and again, it's not all the time. And I switched to grocery stores. What I learned is some of them have ready-made meals that are a lot more healthy than getting in a drive-thru. And I made some time to prep my own foods. I got a little bit more confident in the kitchen. I was able to add veggies and fruits and also come up with new things that I liked and didn't even know I liked. And this also led to better choices when it came to supplementing my body. Like what I don't always get from my food, great pre and probiotics. They support the body in building a colony of healthy bacteria, which supports the gut and aids in digestion. And this led to me finding out more about Seed. Seed is a company on a mission to help establish probiotics as a science and to bring much needed precision, efficacy, and education to the global category of probiotics. It has added so much to my daily healthy habits. Before I have my first meal, I take Seed's DS-01 Daily Synbiotic, a 2-in-1 prebiotic and probiotic. I love that it's formulated with 24 clinically and scientifically studied strains for whole body benefits. It's a product rooted in science, and y'all know that's important to me. And I love that I can support my gut, skin, and heart health simply through 2 2 capsules a day. Other benefits are promotion of regularity, support of good and easy number 2s, bloat ease, and it's formulated to help your gut thrive. And it's free from dairy, gluten, soy, animal products, peanuts, and GMOs, binders, preservatives, and 14 classes of allergens. I've been taking C's DSO1 for a few months now, and I love the positive benefits it seems to add to my health. And y'all know I love supporting my skin, more specifically the texture, and I've noticed that it looks and feels more healthy and smooth since I've been taking it. And a little win is that there's a small travel container that they send with it. If you're interested in supporting your health to the next level, click my link below and use my code for 30% off your first month's Seeds DSO1 Daily Symbiotic. I had to stop setting up unrealistic expectations for my life. I would set the bar way too high for everything, and that would often lead to disaster. And I'm not talking about realistic high goals and setting yourself up for success. I'm talking about stuff that I knew I would fail at, so I would have no reason to keep trying at all. This even had to do with common things like taking care of myself in the best ways. Like, oh, I'm gonna start having 2 weekly long self-care sessions for myself, which would turn into absolutely none because I had no time and I was lazy. Or I'm gonna read a new book every week. Yeah, right. Oh, and the best one, I'm gonna work out 7 days a week. Way to give up. I learned that change is best met with small steps. If you start too high, you're gonna psych yourself out and you're gonna give up. Throw the whole journey away. And don't try to change too much too fast. Set realistic goals for yourself that are small so that when you get to them, you can start to set the next goals for everything else that you would like to do in small steps. That will keep you motivated and ultimately moving to your highest points. I had to stop being around people who could care less if I was breathing. The mind really does long for people who appreciate you, and being around people who don't appreciate you really can lead to a horrible life. And most times in those situations, you're better off with less people or alone. Over time, I started to do things that would underestimate myself and that were way below my potential. And the best way to counter this is to make friends with people who actually appreciate who you are. And for me, those were people that showed up in the good and the bad times. They didn't have to be the most powerful, the most strong, or the most popular in my community. They were often people that were just there, silently or out loud. They weren't like me in every way, but they definitely wanted to see me grow as I wanted to see them grow. And they provided sincere guidance that led to me becoming a better person. And it wasn't until I rid my life of those who were not meant for me that I had time for the people who were there for me. And this included friends and family, because they can get it too. I had to stop sitting around waiting for the perfect moment to start something. For me, everything had to have this special magical moment. Once I lose weight, I'll clean out my closet. Once I get to this level, I'll start to look for a new job. I'll start to travel. Once all my friends get it together, then we can all go. No. People ask me how I became so fearless in my pursuit of everything that I wanted. It's because I realized that life is too doggone short. That sounds cliche, but for real. I remember after college, I started to apply to graduate opportunities in other states. That led me to moving between 4 states over time in places where I didn't really know people. I did it despite the nervousness I had or that other people had about my choices. So how did I overcome the perfect moment syndrome? I looked at where I was and saw what it benefited me. Yes, me. Women, and usually Black women, often think a lot about what our presence does for other people. But it was time out for that. That mindset kept me held back and upset. Growth couldn't occur. My moves needed to benefit my personal and professional life. Whether that was a new career, personal development, or a switch up in scenes, I did it if it helped me. The truth is, your perfect moment is right now. And I don't care how old you are. Stop waiting and start working on your professional and personal goals, both big and small. You'll be so glad you did. Y'all, at one point in my life, not getting enough exercise was destroying me. When I got out of high school, I was so enthused by the fact that I could do absolutely nothing if I felt like it, that I did just that. And people can act like it does nothing, but if you're losing weight by just diet alone, over time that will plateau. It's nice to have balance, and research shows that exercise helps manage weight, improves brain health, strengthens bones, muscles, heart, and lungs, helps you sleep better, improves mental health, focus, and your judgment, and it helps to manage your blood sugar and the risk of chronic disease. The way I had to switch this up was learn that it didn't take too much to start or even do. You have to start where you are and progressively increasing your frequency and intensity of the workouts that you choose to do. If you can only do 5 minutes, do 5 minutes. The next week, work up to 10 minutes on a few days, and so on. Get bored easy. Make it fun by doing 5 to 10 minutes of different exercises at a time. Set small goals, but then start to work up to your bigger goals over time. I had to stop entertaining even romantic relationships that I knew would keep me stagnant. Here's the reality of life. I know we hear a lot of things about people like Evan Stephanie K. Williams, how she says she won't date a bus driver. Here's my thoughts. The thing about life is you only live once. You don't live it to please and appease other people. I've learned that people love to get a good deal without giving a good deal. I'm going to go with what's best for me, what's going to be best for my life. And if that's not it, then I would rather be by myself and not completely alone, because I got good friends, good life. I would rather do that than to settle or give up my space in order to just appease someone else or to have a title. I'm grateful for my husband, but he was also on the trajectory I was on. And that's what I wanted. That's what I prayed for. That's what I waited for. And that's okay. It took me a while, but I'm so happy I did it, because I could have been miserable early on in a relationship that wasn't good for me and ended up with something that was perfect for me. And I can live out my days being happy with just that. And entertaining the wrong people can definitely change the trajectory of our lives romantically overall. It can affect your money, your finances. It can affect your life, your mental health, the way that you feel about you, your physical health, everything in between. So think about it very carefully and be realistic with yourself and be okay with sitting back and not just waiting, bettering yourself. So when the person you deem as the person for you comes along, you're ready and you're open to that. Y'all, I hope today's video has been beneficial for you. Make sure that you comment, share this video with someone who can use it, and subscribe. And also thanks to Seed for sponsoring today's video. Don't forget to click my link below and use my code for 30% off. Thank y'all so much for watching. Beautiful Brown Baby Doll. Peace.